Chris Sewall here, baseball card collector, investor, dealer in that order. Welcome everyone. Today we're going to count down the 25 highest scores in NBA history, actually the NBA/ABA history, although the ABA only applies to maybe 2 or 3 players on this list. And we're also going to take a look at each of their rookie cards and the value of the card in various grades. We'll be looking at each player's Topps rookie, although in a few cases they don't have a Topps rookie, so in those cases we'll look at their Fleer rookie. Michael Jordan is an example of that. And all the prices you see here are the average of recent sales, or in a few cases, if there hasn't been any recent sales, then just the estimated current market value. Your 25th highest score in NBA history, again, I mean NBA/ABA, but just going to say NBA history throughout the video, is Reggie Miller, who played his entire career with the Indiana Pacers and retired as the all-time leader in three-point shooting, at least at the time of his retirement. This is his only rookie card, 1988 Fleer, and it can be had for just $36 in a PSA 8, although in a PSA 10 it will cost you over $2,000. Number 24 is Alex English, who made a name for himself playing with Denver, mainly in the 1980s. This is his only rookie card, 1979 Topps, and again, a PSA 8 can be had for about $57, but in a PSA 10, if you want one of these, you're going to have to fork over about $9,000. Next up is Vince Carter, coming in at number 3, who played for a bunch of different teams. I guess probably most famous for playing with Toronto early in his career. That's his 1998 Topps rookie. And like with many players on this list who have rookies in the 1990s, the Topps rookie is actually not one of their more valuable rookies. In many cases, including this one, it's one of their least valuable rookies. So just be aware of that. You can see the Topps rookie here you can have for under $10 in a PSA 8, and a PSA 10 will only cost you $78 for Vinsanity. Number 22 comes with an asterisk, and that's of Kevin Durant and his 2007 Topps rookie. Comes with an asterisk because as of the recording of this video, he ranked 22nd, but by the time the video posts, he'll probably have moved up the charts a bit from then, and certainly by the end of the year, he will have moved up the charts quite a bit, assuming he doesn't get injured or something like that. His Topps rookie is not one of his more valuable cards. He has a bunch of very, very expensive cards. The Topps here, you can see $24 for a PSA 8. And look at that jump from a 9 to a 10. $1,600 for a PSA 10, but again, he has much more valuable rookie cards than this one. From one Kevin to the next, at number 21 is Kevin Garnett. And again, by the time you've watched this, Kevin Durant is probably past Garnett here, but that's his 1995 Topps rookie. Again, he's got a bunch of rookies from 1995. The Topps is not one of the more valuable. PSA 8's going for under $10, and a PSA 10 can be had for $73. Next up is an oldie but a goodie, John Havlicek, who's in the Hall of Fame. I think everybody on this list is in the Hall of Fame. At least those who are eligible, and those who aren't eligible, I think every single one of them will ultimately make the Hall of Fame as well. This is his only rookie, 1969 Topps. It's known as a tall boy set, as the cards are taller than other cards. That actually has made them harder to get in higher grade over time. You can see in a mid-grade condition, it'll cost you a little over $100 to pick one of these up, but in high grade, you're going to need to sell one of your used Toyota Camrys to afford one of these. Coming in at number 19 is Paul Pierce, and that's his 1998 Topps rookie. Again, he has a bunch of rookies from 98, but this is the Topps, one of his least valuable cards. In a PSA 8 or 9, it's about a $10 card, whereas in a PSA 10, it's more like $78. Number 18 is someone I actually thought would be higher on this list. Tim Duncan, San Antonio Spurs, great one, 5 NBA titles. That's his 1997 Topps rookie. It goes for under $10 in a PSA 8. Again, from this era, he has much more valuable cards, including the Topps Chrome, but the Topps here can be had for just $86 in a PSA 10. Number 17, another oldie but a goodie, George Gervin, the Iceman, and that's his 1974 Topps rookie. And like everybody on this list whose rookie is before 1990 or so, he only has the one and only one rookie card. You can see a PSA 5s go for about $76, PSA 9s going for close to $4,000. Number 16 is the Human Highlight Film, Dominique Wilkins, and that's his 1986 Fleer rookie. The 1986 Fleer set's maybe the most important basketball set of all time, loaded with rookies, and it will be featured 4 times on this list here. Although if you had asked me ahead of time, I actually would have probably guessed it would be featured more than 4. But the Wilkins, you can see a PSA 6 is quite affordable, just $35. But PSA 10s are particularly low pop on the Dominique Wilkins for whatever reason. You can see that card goes into 5 figures in a PSA 10. Number 15 is Oscar Robertson, the Big O, and his rookie card, 1961 Fleer. You got to go all the way back before Topps ever entered into the basketball card space to find his rookie. And the 1961 Fleer set is also a very, very significant set in the basketball card world, loaded with Hall of Fame rookies, although this one will only be featured twice here on this list. Big money card here, as are many of the key rookies from 1961 Fleer set. Even in lower grade, the card is going to cost you 4 figures. PSA 9s go. The last PSA 9 sale went for 72 grand, although that was actually over a year ago, so who knows what it would go for today. There does exist one copy of the card in a PSA 10, which has never been put up for sale, so your guess is as good as mine what that would fetch. Next up is another rookie from the 1986 Fleer set, and that is Hakeem Olajuwon, who is one of 5 centers who will be featured here in the top 25 all-time point scorers leaders, and he's ranks number 4, so 3 left to come. 26,946 career points. I haven't been talking about that, but yeah, up at the top is their total career points. And you can see PSA 6 is $100, similar to the Wilkins, although this one has a much higher pop count in a PSA 10, so it goes for about 5 grand there. More oldies but goodies, and another card from the 1969 Topps Tall Boy set. Elvin Hayes rookie, over 27,000 career points, and this is actually where I expect Kevin Durant to end up at the end of the season, right around here, number 13 or so. You can see PSA 5s under $100, and again, the Tall Boy set's really tough to get in high grade. Since they were tall, they're ultra susceptible to chipping and folding and licking and things like that. Over 5 grand for a PSA 9. Number 12 is what I would call the surprise entry here on the top 25. Dan Issel, I had no idea he would rank anywhere near this high, although played a lot of his career in the ABA with the Kentucky Colonels. Who doesn't remember them? This is 1971 Topps rookie and his only rookie, of course. PSA 7s going for $76. PSA 9s crossing into 4 figures. Number 11, just missing out on the top 10, is Carmelo Anthony, over 28,000 career points. 2003, there were a lot of brands being put out, but this, of course, is his Topps rookie. In a PSA 8, it's about $11, and a PSA 10, you can have it for under $70. Now crossing into the top 10, which features 3 centers. Shaquille O'Neal is the first of the 3, if you want to try to guess the other 2 ahead of time. That's his 1992 Topps rookie, one of the biggest prospects of all time, number 1 overall draft pick, who actually did, in fact, pan out. The 1992 Topps card is a very, very common card. This was at the height of the junk wax era, so heavily overproduced. PSA 8 is going for about $10, and a PSA 10 copy you can get of Shaq Diesel's Topps rookie for just about $100. Number 9 is the most surprising to me in the top 10. I would have had no idea that Moses Malone would have ranked this high, but there he is. Shout out to my man Noah if you happen to be watching. That's his 1975 Topps rookie, and he scored close to 30,000 points in his career. You can see a PSA 6 is quite affordable, $73, but look at that PSA 10 sale. You're going to have to fork over quite a bit of cash to pick one of those up. Your 8th highest scorer in NBA history is Dr. J, Julius Erving, who apparently started his career in the ABA with the Virginia Squires. Who doesn't know that? But later became more famous in the NBA with the Philadelphia 76ers. His 1972 Topps rookie there is an iconic card in the basketball card world. In low grade, it'll cost you hundreds of dollars. In a PSA 9, it'll cost you about 20 grand. There does exist one copy of this card in a PSA 10, but it has never been put up for sale. Number 8 is one of your 2 remaining centers, and that is Wilt Chamberlain, whose rookie card is from 1961 Fleer, like the Oscar Robertson. And like the Oscar Robertson and also the Julius Erving we just looked at, this is a very iconic card in the basketball card world. 31,000 plus points for Wilt the Stilt. Big money card here. Even in low grade, it's multiple 4 figures. And you can see a PSA 9 goes for over 300 grand. There does exist 3 copies of the card in a PSA 10, but none of those have ever been put up for sale. Next up is a surprise to see him so high, but Dirk Nowitzki is your 6th all-time leading point scorer in NBA history. Dallas Mavericks all-time great, helped them win their lone NBA title in 2007. 31,560 career points. His Topps card, as you guessed, is not one of his more valuable ones, but not one of his more valuable rookies. And PSA 8's going for $9, but a PSA 10 does jump up a bit, going for more than 10 times the PSA 9 at $272. Number 5 is probably the most recognizable basketball player of all time, and his 1986 Fleer rookie is certainly the most iconic basketball card ever, and that's, of course, Michael Jordan, who played his entire career, well, I guess not his entire career, played most of his career with the Chicago Bulls, winning 6 NBA titles, also finished with a couple seasons with the Washington Wizards. That was probably not worth mentioning here. 32,292 career points. As I mentioned, his rookie is highly desired and very expensive. PSA 4 is going for $3 grand. PSA 10s currently sell for about $200,000. They've actually come down quite a bit in value over the last year and a half. All right, now into the final 4, and number 4 is Kobe Bryant. The Black Mamba, rest in peace, who played his entire career with the Los Angeles Lakers, winning 5 NBA titles. That's his 1996 Topps rookie, and he's got a bunch of rookies. This is not one of the more valuable ones, although it's probably about in the middle or so, something like that. $71 for a PSA 8, $775 for a PSA 10. Our bronze medal goes to the fourth and final 1986 Fleer card, and that's the rookie of Karl Malone, the mailman, played almost his entire career with the Utah Jazz. 36,928 career points. Like I said, ranks him third all time. $63 for a PSA 6, close to $4,000 for a PSA 10. If you've noticed some funny things with the 86 Fleer set price-wise, it's mainly because of the pop report. For example, the Dominique Wilkins is just a lot rarer than the Karl Malone here in a PSA 10, and that's why it sells for so much more. Number 2 is LeBron James, and that's his 2003 Topps rookie. Kind of like Shaq, he was one of the number 1 overall picks, can't miss prospects who did indeed pan out. LeBron will probably be number 1 by the end of this current NBA season, or if not this season, definitely next season. But at the moment, he still ranks number 2 with 37,311 points. That's probably gone up a little bit by the time you view this video. Lots of really big money rookie cards. The Topps is not towards the top of the list by any means. PSA 6 going for 200, a PSA 10 going for close to 2,000. He has multiple cards that easily fetch into the 6 figures in high grade. And the number 1 scorer in NBA/ABA history is Kareem Abdul-Jabba, a.k.a. Lou Alcindor, and that's his 1969 Topps rookie, also from the tall boy set like the Hayes and Havlicek we saw earlier. 38,387 career points. That is the current all-time record, which, like I said, will probably be passed late in this current season. Another iconic card here, PSA 3 is going for $800. PSA 9s will cost you quite the pretty penny there, $200,000. There do exist 3 copies of the card in a PSA 10, but like many of the really, really rare older PSA 10s on this list, none have ever been put up for sale. But there's your top 25, and just a couple of quick tidbits for those of you who like tidbits. Whenever I do a video like this, I learn a lot because I have to do a lot of research for it. And, I was very surprised to see players like Carmelo Anthony and Dan Issel so high, or, Dirk Nowitzki, I would not have thought was a top 10, all-time scorer. But another big surprise to me was that neither Larry Bird nor Magic Johnson was in the top 25. I would have definitely assumed they'd both be in there. But in fact, neither of them are even close. Larry Bird is 41st, and Magic Johnson's 86th. That was very surprising to me, but like I said, interesting tidbit, at least from my end. And the other interesting tidbit was that there were only 2 active players in the top 25. I definitely would not have guessed that. I would have thought there would have been quite a bit more. But just LeBron James at number 2 and Kevin Durant at number 22. Again, Durant's going to move up quite a bit this season. LeBron James will probably take the number 1 spot by the end, but only 2 active players. I would have definitely guessed more than 2. Maybe thought Steph Curry or James Harden or Russell Westbrook or but no, just the 2 active players. And this list here is the top 10 highest all-time point totals for active players. And you can see none of the other players will crack the top 25 even by the end of this season. But that's it, your top 25. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and let me know what you thought in the comments. Were you surprised by any of the rankings here or any of the card values or any experience you have with any of these players? Would love to hear about it. But thank you again for watching, and see you all again real soon. Thanks, everyone.